It's your boy, the one, Joey V.
This is Boss Dog Cigars.
This is Quentin Moore chilling in the Cigar Lounge. Have a drink with your boys and tune in. Yeah.
All right. Welcome, everybody. It's your local hero back again, Cigar Lounge and Podcast. We got a special guest here with us. We got from Cigar Samples, we got Mr. Jeff Brown. Before we get into the proceedings, what are you smoking on, sir?
Well, actually, I'm smoking one of my own cigars, which is made by the good people at Florida Copan. I went down there to Honduras and grew my own tobacco, and they made a cigar for me with my own name on it and everything else. So,
let's see. I didn't know you had your own. I was looking on your site. I didn't know you had your own.
No, this is just a personal box that they sent to me with, and inside the box they actually, it's pretty cool. They sent my own tobacco sample with it as well. It's not available for sale anywhere in the world. That's just something I was like, I was going through my humidor today. I'm like, you know what? I haven't smoked one of my own cigars in a while. So I fired it up.
It's always great to do.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's go back to the beginning. How did you get into cigars?
Oh, my goodness. We got to go way back in time. It's been at least 20 years or so. But long story short, I worked for a major internet catalog company as a store manager. Is really where I got. I smoked a lot of cigars. I used to live in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and I really, really got into cigars down there. I got to meet a lot of the people in the cigar business, more on the Cuban side in Argentina. And when I came back to the U.S., I had a newfound, deep appreciation and love for cigars. So long story short, one day my wife came to me and said, "Hey, you know what? I'm tired of being in the position I'm at. Can you find a job?" So at the time I was working for Home Depot, and I started looking around and I saw that somebody was looking for a store manager for their cigar business. So I called up my boss at Home Depot and I said, "You want somebody really, really good?" And he's like, "Yeah." I said, "Well, take my wife and I'm out of here." And my wife started working for Home Depot and I started working for this, a pretty large internet catalog retailer. And I was running their retail store. And as I was running the retail store, it happened that I was fluent in Spanish from living in Argentina and Puerto Rico for a long time. So he said, "You know what? I need an international buyer, somebody that can go to the factories in Honduras, Nicaragua, Dominican Republic, and, make deals for me and do things for me. Is that something you would be interested in?" And I'm like, "Heck yeah. That sounds like a dream job to me." So after I demonstrated that I could run the retail store and hired the people and got the store, up and running and doing very well, I moved into the international buying part for cigars. And every month I was in, 1 month I'm in Honduras, next month I'm in Nicaragua, next month I'm down in the Dominican Republic, and, working with just about every major manufacturer out there, doing projects with them, making cigars, smoking cigars, being invited to their houses, going to dinner, hanging out, having a good time with those guys. So I did that, and that's really how I got into it. And then after I left that company, I got into more of the marketing side at another cigar company. And basically, I decided that, I'm tired of helping out these other companies and wanted to start my own company. So fast forward to here we are, 13 months into cigarsamplers.com, where I'm, using the contacts that I've had in the cigar industry to kind of do something different that not a lot of companies are doing. And that's, putting 4 different vendors in a bag and, selling cigars that way.
Yeah, I know. I went on there and I was surprised at some of the prices. I'm like, wow, this is a lot cheaper than what I'm used to for these cigars.
Well, the beauty is I've been employee of the month 12 out of the 13 last month, so I don't have a lot of overhead. So, right now I'm in obviously the beginning stages, and probably for the first couple of years, I'm in the the acquisition mode. I want to get, more customers and names and be able to email people and stuff like that. So to your point, my prices are exceedingly low because I'm only paying basically for inventory and everything I do is free shipping. And there's a cost obviously associated with that. But I got a lot of friends that are giving me some decent prices on cigars, and I'm passing them right forward to the consumers.
Yeah, I like the handwritten note too. That was dope.
No, everybody. I'm telling you, I've done a couple thousand orders in the last year, and every single order from order one to whatever order number I'm on, I will continue and always write because I appreciate this. Everybody's got a million different places they can go and buy cigars, whether they go to their, local brick and mortar, whether they go, to the biggest companies online or whatever. I just appreciate people looking at me and giving me, a shot. So I'm always going to write a note, whether it's their first order, whether, I've got customers in 13 months that have bought from me over 50 times. So, I'm appreciative, and I will drop a handwritten note on every single order until I can't do it, until it becomes physically impossible where I cannot do it. I am going to make sure, if I get, 2, 3, 4, 500 orders, I'm still writing a note to every single person, appreciating their business and appreciating them for spending their hard-earned money with me.
But that is a great thing. That's what me and my buddies always talk about, whether it's online distributors or boutiques or whoever. Whenever they take time out to write you a handwritten note, it seems not only is it more genuine, you're more likely to go back to them and suggest them. Like I suggested you to. As a matter of fact, I really didn't have to suggest you to too many friends because most of the guys I associate with already knew about you. My man, Boss Dog, he already told. He's like, "Oh yeah, Jeff did." Then I was talking to Mark. Mark's still in there. Probably got him a martini or something. Or Manhattan. No, he's drinking smoked Manhattans. He's like, "Oh, Jeff, yeah." He said, "I said Jeff won," and Jeff just ran with it. He's like, "I didn't expect that from that guy." He's like, "Great guy." So everybody I've talked to that is associated with you have said how great of a guy you are. And like I said, them prices. When I saw them prices, I said, "Man, what the hell I've been shopping at? I've been missing out. What am I doing?"
Well, it's appreciated. Like I said, everybody, if you're having fun, which I'm doing, and I'm doing something that I really, really like a lot, it's a good time, and if I can help anybody on the way, somebody like Mark, the man's hustling. He's out there, working his product, and, I see, he's worldwide right now. I'm only nationwide. I can't afford to worry about, customs and things like that right now where I'm shipping to other countries. So right now I'm just a US based guy. And you want to talk about small business, it gets no smaller. Even though I'm 6'6", 235 pounds, I'm a small business. It is just me. Occasionally during the summertime, if I need to take, like I went out to Vegas for one of the tobacco shows, and my son took over for a week and did some shipping for me. There's really not, I have nobody to fall back on yet. And everything I do, I take and turn it back into inventory, to have cigars for people, that are asking, they're like, "Well, this is great." I do a lot of closeouts on stuff where I try to be one of, if not the best price on the internet, doing the best I can with what I got. And like I said, it's just, my overhead is basically just me. So I take everything I got, I turn it back into inventory, and in turn, hopefully get more and more customers down the road.
Okay. Now, I do, like I said, I love your how you write that handwritten note and everything. So when it comes to the customers, right?
Yes, sir.
Besides the price,
mm-hmm.
What separates you from other online retailers? Like what makes you unique from them?
Well, I'd like to think myself, I'm a little bit different than everybody else, but B, the concept. I went out and I bought the URL cigarsamplers.com. And what I'm doing is like you take something like this right here. All right. Mm-hmm. First of all, I got these bags made where they're stay fresh humidified bags. Mm-hmm. So when I put cigars in here, I heat seal the bottom of this bag. This bag is going to stay fresh until you crack it open for years. The cigars are going to be fine in there. And what I do that's different is I take 4 different manufacturers and I put them in a bag. So I don't have to worry about manufacturer pricing or, you can't charge that low for my cigar. I'm different because I'm the only one that's taking the time to go out and put 4 different manufacturers inside of a humidor bag and make it make sense. If you want to shop by price, I got you covered. If you want to shop by wrapper, I got you covered. If you want to shop by size, if you like I don't like Robustos from Nicaragua. If you go to my website and you type in Robustos and you type in Nicaragua, it's going to pull up everything that's, I have that's Robustos from Nicaragua. If you like, big ring sizes, you like the 660s, go take a look. I got, big ring sizes. If you're new to cigars or you don't know what to get somebody as a gift, you can go to my new cigar section. It's going to recommend a whole bunch of different Connecticut shade cigars. So I've got something a little bit different than what everybody else has. And then on top of that, like I said, with my relationships that I have with these cigar manufacturers, I get a lot of closeouts. I get a lot of opportunities to sell things way below what everybody else is charging. I go and look at what the big cigar companies out there are charging, and I'm like, you know what? I can shatter that price on a lot of stuff that I have that's closeout. So, I got the closeouts to bring people in and generate a little bit of income for me so I can go back and buy, the bulk cigars so I can keep making these cigar samplers for the people.
Okay. Now, just guesstimate, how many cigars are you holding at any given time?
Let me think about this for a second. Let's just say 2 months. Guesstimate probably between 70 and 150,000 cigars.
Speaking of marking them. Speaking of marking them.
She coming in.
Speaking of marking them.
Hey.
Speaking of
head all the way in. I know, right?
Hello.
Hi.
I'm not getting that close.
We in the car.
I'll just do the gangster lane. You got the select. Yes, select draw.
Yay.
Thank you.
Always represent select draw.
All right, see you soon.
We clear out his car for him. We related.
Where y'all going?
Home, everybody's dispersed.
Mark is going up to ladies.
Ladies first.
Yeah.
Ladies first.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. This is what I'll hang around. In case you were wondering, this is what I hang around. But yeah, so that's a lot of cigars. Like, so, and this is my question, because I always wondered this as a cigar smoker. How many cigars can you smoke without it affecting what you do? Because with me, if I got if I got a bunch of cigars, I'm sitting there looking like, hey, what can I smoke now?
It depends on what I'm doing. If I'm just sitting around, work, I'll just grab something that I like or that I know I like, or maybe something I haven't tried in a while to go back and see what it's about. But if you look at my website, one of the things that's interesting is if you go to just Google and you type in cigar samplers, I come up, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on Google. And I do that organically. I haven't spent money to do that because I don't have the money to do that. But when you look at all the cigars I have, I take time to write about it. I've smoked every one of those cigars, taken notes on it, written things down about it. Each one of my product descriptions has over 500 words. So if you really want to know stories and you want to hear about, my trips to this factory, that factory, who I met, I talk about all that stuff on my website, and it helps me grow organically by me just talking about that kind of stuff. But when it comes down to, what am I going to smoke? I have a handful of cigars that I really, really, really like, that I've been smoking for years. But then, I'm always open to try different things. And if the manufacturer is willing to, part with some of that inventory and ship it to me, like I got today, as an example, actually yesterday, I got a new shipment in from Pedro and the guys at Drew Estate. So, for a limited release, I'm going to do a closeout on the 10th anniversary Drew Estate stuff. Why? I don't know, because I can. And I really, really like the cigar. Mm-hmm. And I'd like to be able to offer it, to people at, the best price that they can possibly get. So, that's kind of what I'm about, what I do.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, those are some of the best prices on the internet. So let me ask you, how has your growth, your growth scale? Like, do you see, is it a steady rise? Is it rapid, or how did that work?
Well, it's in the last probably 5 months, it's probably tripled what it was in the first 7-8 months. And that's because as I go and I get the funds available, I can do a little bit of extra stuff. I do a lot, well, not a lot, but I'm really getting into affiliate marketing. I'm getting into, well, not getting into, but I'm getting more and more recognition through Google, search engine optimization, SEO stuff. There's a whole lot of geeky things behind the scenes that are happening that's good stuff for me. And, I've done a lot of stuff. I've tried a lot of different things, from mailing, lists and email lists and things like that. But, it's persistence, and it's just staying focused on, what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's just trying to grow the customer list. I mean, every day, more brand new first-time customers are finding me. And whether that's through word of mouth, whether that's through I'm a beast on social media. I kill it on, Facebook, like nobody. Every Friday at my cigarsamplers.com Facebook page, I give away free swag on Fridays. People throughout the week like and comment on the post, and they get in on the contest. I give away, hats, lighters, cutters, humidors, travel humidors, you name just about anything you can get in cigar swag, boom boxes from, Altadis, ashtrays. I give away all that stuff every Friday to whoever, wins that particular Friday. So it just keeps snowballing, and, you get more and more irons in the fire, and you're doing more and more things. There's not one particular thing that, will make you explode. It's a bunch of little tiny things that when you put it all together, you start to see, that growth. And I'm still in my infancy stage. I still have, a couple years before I'm hitting it hard. And, I'm doing okay right now, but I know I'm going to do a whole lot better, after doing things like your podcast and, reaching out and talking to people, and the more people to get to see me and hear me and get to experience what I got going on, and the pricing and the deals and, the free stuff and the handwritten notes and the quality, merch that they're getting. I don't sell, machine made factory seconds and throwouts, and, everything I do is 100% premium long filler cigars at a very competitive price.
Okay. So what would your advice be for somebody who is thinking of doing what you do right now? What would your advice be to them?
Well, number one, you gotta have good contacts. You gotta know people, and then you gotta do your homework. You gotta look, and you gotta understand the laws. You gotta understand, and I'm not a lawyer, but I've been doing this for a while, and I've kept my ears open and listening. There's all sorts of regulations, especially online companies. Even I worked in a brick and mortar store before. You can't sell tobacco in certain states. You can't sell certain types of tobacco in certain states. Certain states or certain municipalities won't let you sell flavored cigars or infused cigars. There are certain states where you can't sell, like I'll give you South Dakota. I'm not allowed, nobody's allowed to ship cigars to South Dakota. If you do that, you're breaking the law. So there's a lot of things you got to do, a lot of, lawyering up, a lot of reading you got to do, and a lot of understanding to get into, this business. It's what I do is fun, but I have an advantage that a lot of people just aren't going to be able to have. And that, is me being able once upon a time to go down to a factory and spend a lot of money and, go to another factory and start a project with this one and do a project with this one and, do some special things for another factory and do limited release things. And, there's not many people that were in my position that could do that. I'm thinking, 4 or 5 companies in the world that were able to do what I was able to do, during these years. So it's a difficult thing. It would be a lot easier, and it's not even easy to open up, your own store and do your own thing. There's nothing easy in almost any business. There's, if it's worth it, it's not easy to do. You got to put in the time, you got to put in the effort to whatever it is you want to do.
Yeah. That's great advice. So what do you wish you would have known when you started doing this?
Well, I wish I would have known how difficult it is to keep, find, and retain customers. I have 5,000. I've maxed out on the number of friends I can have on my social media on Facebook. I'm at, 5,000 people. And when I tell those 5,000 people, hey, take a look at, my little cigarsamplers.com company, you would hope that those 5,000 people would move over and tell, more people and help you grow. And, there's nobody out there, people, there's not a lot of loyalty in the cigar business. And I don't blame them. People go where their dollar is, going to go the furthest. So if everybody's selling one cigar for the same price, but this company's offering a free ashtray and this guy's offering free shipping, or this guy has, a free 5-pack with, a box purchase, you're going to go where your dollar stretches the furthest. And I understand that. And I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. So, there's really, it's a difficult business, even though it's not a huge business. It's not like we're selling, clothing or something like that. There's only so many people in the United States that smoke cigars. And of that, there are people out there that might smoke and they consider themselves a cigar smoker because they smoke one cigar every 2, 3, 4 months. They have to have a reason to light up a cigar. It's a celebration. I got together with my people and, we had a tailgate, or, it was so-and-so's birthday, or I got a promotion, or, it's an anniversary or something like that. A lot of people don't enjoy it like you and I do, almost on a daily or multiple times a day basis. They have to have a reason to celebrate. So I want to be that business of choice when it's time for somebody to, make a purchasing decision to celebrate with cigars.
Mm-hmm. So you got a lot of cigars there. Outside of your cigar that you're smoking, mm-hmm. What would be a brand that you would go to the most?
Ooh, let me think. I don't mind the Drew Estate stuff that is not I don't go for the infused. My wife loves the infused stuff. That's kind of also on a side note, it's great that I can sit here and smoke in my studio in my house because my wife's over there enjoying a cigar with me. But Drew Estate is great. A lot of stuff that one of the big guys, Altadis, makes. The stuff that Raphael and AJ are doing together is really, really good stuff. El Credito, El Perito, the War of Flavors is a cigar that I smoke almost daily. There are so many great. The stuff that Steve Saka makes is phenomenal. There are so many great cigars out there. I mean, this is like the golden age of cigar smoking. This, for the last 3, 4, 5 years, there's really not a lot of bad cigars out there. I mean, you can find them. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of times you get what you pay for. If you get 20 cigars for $20, and they tell you they're premium long filler cigars, they haven't gone through the process. They haven't gone through the aging and the care and the need to make it a premium leaf. There's, like I said, there's just so many cigars. Like I said, I like these undercrowns. I like the Oliva stuff. The 135, the newer Oliva that's out is great. I like the stuff in the Oliva Advent calendar. I like the stuff made by my father. There's just so many. And my favorite factory in the world is probably Raíces Cubanas, followed by the Flor de Copan out of Honduras. I mean, they're great factories, but they all, like I said, they all have their time and their place. Plasencia. I mean, I remember, going down there and seeing Nestor Jr. and Nestor Sr. before they came out with a brand, going and hanging out with their uncle Don Conrado over in Honduras. There's just so many, different cigars and great cigars out there that it's amazing to me what's going on. And if a person, ever had a chance to go down and visit one of those factories and go see a box factory and go see pre-production, production, go to the fields and see what all goes into, making a cigar and all the effort and the number of people involved in making a cigar, they would really appreciate it and go, shit, this ain't worth, $5, $6, $7, $8. I'd pay $8, $10, $15 for all that I see and everything that happens and making, a cigar and the whole process that goes into it.
Okay. So let me ask, I don't know how often because you say you can smoke in the house, you got the studio, but what would be one of your favorite lounges that you visited?
Well, I have been to some of the biggest in the U.S. I opened up 2 large lounges and restaurants and all that in my life. 2 big cigar lounges. Casa de Monte Cristo in Chicago is a very nice, well-appointed lounge. I mean, they got an elevator. Come on now. Who puts an elevator in their place? Those guys do a great job there. Jeff Borshowitz down in Florida does a phenomenal job with his places. And his name eludes me right now, but he does events out in the Midwest. And I went out and saw him. Damn it. What is that guy's name out there? He's got 2 lounges in where is he? It's killing me now. It'll come back to me. But this guy does events like you've never seen. I mean, he brings in, he told me, Kendall is his name. He brings in 1,000 new cigar smokers a month when he does these events. And the events are, huge. Thousands of people come out. And it's phenomenal out there. He's got 2 stores, Kansas City. Yeah, Kansas City. He's got them at Outlaw. There you go. He's got 2 Outlaw stores out in Kansas City that are just incredible. The stores that Rocky's putting up, the Burns, he's doing a really nice job and very well thought out, very well appointed. And there's a lot of lounges out there that are just, great places to go to, great places to visit, that do a lot of nice stuff. But it's funny because a lot of people, a lot of people that own brick and mortars do not like, obviously, internet companies. They think that, it's killing their business. It's hurting them. It's this, it's that. first of all, I'd just like to say that if it wasn't for internet companies going out and buying all these factory seconds and, stuff like that, the price of cigars would be multiple times what it is now for everybody in the United States. These internet companies really serve a purpose. Not everybody lives in an area where they can drive down to their local shop and, visit with the people and talk to the people. But a lot of these internet companies go out and buy that scrap tobacco and the stuff, and that helps keep the prices down for everybody across the board. But a lot of people don't recognize that, or if they do, they don't want to recognize that. They're like, well, you got to support your local guy. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind people supporting their local guy, but I don't gouge people either, and I don't charge full MSRP. There are people out there that are proud to say like, oh, we only charge what the manufacturer says we should charge, and there's others that make it even more than that. That's their business decision. And if they're giving customers great service, treating people the way they should be treated, then and they're doing well, God bless them. They're doing it, works for them. I know it works for my company so far, and I like my business model. I like the direction I'm heading in.
Okay. That's great. Now, I haven't been in that. I'm from Chicago. I haven't been in that one. The Monte Cristo one. I have been to Biggs, which is a great shop. It's over prices a little bit in, but it's a great shop. Yeah. So when I go back home, I'm going to have to check them out.
Well, check out, like I said, the first place I went to in Chicago was the Casa de Monte Cristo.
I heard good things about it. I got a bunch of buddies back home. They be telling me about it. So I'm definitely going to check them out when I get back.
Yeah, like I said, it's been years since I've been there, but at that time, I asked, I asked my cigar making friends, what are the best places in the U.S. to go visit? And they gave me a list, and everybody said Casa de Monte Cristo, number one. So that's where I went first.
Yeah. So it's great. So you sat down and you've been down to these factories, and you've talked to all these different makers and cigar creators and everything. And what would you say the one thing that they have besides cigar rolling in common? Because I find that when you talk to anybody in the cigar community, it's always that one thing that we have or we can link up with besides the cigar.
Well, there's not a lot of difference in the process, if you will. Now, there are certain companies out there, and I'll give you an example. I was brought down to Davidoff in the Dominican Republic. Mm-hmm. And Davidoff is one of the few companies who will not apologize for what they charge for a particular cigar. Mm-hmm. They don't have a problem saying this is a $20, $30, $40, $50, $100 cigar because look at our process of what we do. When I was there at Davidoff, they had people that had gloves on their hands, and they would dip their hands in milk before they started messing around with or transplanting the tobacco plants. And I'm like, what are you doing? Well, this is no shock on the plant. You do things like that, you're going to charge more money for your particular thing. But when it comes down to growing cigars or growing tobacco, there's no big secrets or anything like that. You go to almost every farm and they're doing basically the same thing. The processes might be a little bit different. One of the key differences is how long somebody will age their tobacco, how often they will rotate the tobacco, how long they'll keep the tobacco aging, how many times they'll ferment their particular tobaccos. Those are all things that you kind of are behind the scenes that a lot of people don't see. But you can also taste it in their particular cigars. There are certain cigars that taste a little bit different than other cigars. And they're all, growing in basically the same areas. There are so many people growing in Esteli, Condega, Jalapa, Umatepe over in Nicaragua. But a lot of it has to do with the fermentation process and how long they ferment it. If they use things to kind of help the fermentation along, there's some people that will put like cacao beans in there. There's some people that put a little bit of rum in it. So, it's a lot of stuff that nobody knows about, nobody talks about, but there's a handful of us that know, what's going on. And I'll give you an example. If you smoke a Padron, and I don't care if you smoke a Padron 1000 series or a Padron Aniversario, all of that Padron has a characteristic to it, a taste to it that you can't really describe, but you go, damn, that's a Padron. And that's because of their fermentation process that they use. And like I said, whether you buy a Padron, 5,000 or 7,000 for, $8, $10, $12, or you buy a Padron Aniversario for $25, there's a certain hint to each one of those cigars that if you would line them up and you go, there's something common with these, although they're all great cigars. There's something common with it, and I can't quite put a finger on it. A lot of it has to do with the fermentation and what they do to process their tobacco.
Yeah.
That's deep. I just took you down a path.
Yeah. See, I've been honest. I didn't know all that. So you learn something new every day.
Mm-hmm.
How crazy is it to smoke? Like, I don't know, maybe because you've been around it a while. So from my viewpoint, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy that you could smoke this cigar, then you could talk to the guy who rolled it, who's responsible for making it. Does that ever come across like it's probably like an everyday thing for you, but for the average person, they'd be like, oh shit, he's like he could talk to AJ or Padermo. So like, does it ever flash across your mind like, hey, I could talk to these guys?
Honestly, that's why a lot of people love the events that are out there. That's something that I really can't compete with. If you're a brick and mortar store and you can get, a Nick Perdomo to come in, or you can get, a Ricky Rodriguez, or you can get, Big Sean from Cohiba to show up, all of a sudden, these are the people that are, making the cigar, if you will. I mean, they're not, Nick Perdomo probably hasn't rolled a cigar, in 20 years. He's got thousands of people that do that, but he can show up and talk about his cigar. It's his cigar. Sean at Cohiba doesn't roll them. Okay. But he goes to the factory, he gets in, digs in, gets behind the scenes, and, talks to the people and talks to the factory people. Same with Ricky Rodriguez, same with any cigar manufacturer. These guys, when you go out to, and somebody has an event and you can meet, whoever, it lends, credibility to the brand, and it makes you feel good to be able to talk to, the Pete Johnson or the whoever, that makes your cigar, and you feel like, oh man, I met the guy who does it, and honestly, 99% of the cigar people are fantastic, great people. There's not many people that you'd be like, I don't want to talk to this guy, or this guy's an asshole or whatever. They're all really nice guys, humble, down to earth, and appreciate, you putting their particular cigar in your rotation. There's so many, cigars out there, and it's, like I said, the people that have the stores have the, an advantage where they can, if they can find the connection or the hookup, be able to talk to, the actual manufacturer, have them come into the store and do an event for, a couple hours and, talk to customers and, sign their boxes and give away, free swag and stuff like that. People eat that stuff up. People love that stuff. They want to talk to, the Nick Perdomos of the world, the Pedro from Pedro Gonzalez from, Drew Estate. When he shows up, Steve Saka shows up, people want to talk to these guys. They want to hear, what is it, that you do? What makes you different? What makes you unique? And they all got, different stories about what makes them, unique and different.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I think I'm out. I'm out of questions, but hey, it has been great having you on the show. We're gonna run this by, see if we can. We're gonna try to see if we can get everything done. I'll let you know when to come out. If not, then I'm gonna let you know we probably gotta rerun it. So if we get it, this will be edited out. So
No problem. Like I said, I'm pretty on Sundays. My schedule's open. I'm an open book on, on what's going on out there. So if they can't bump up the audio, you let me know. We'll do it again.
All right. Yeah, we'll
I'll make
definitely do
another cocktail. I'll fire up another cigar, and I'll talk to you for another 45 minutes. I don't have a problem with that.
I'm gonna actually have them jump on it today or tomorrow and see if we can pump up the audio. But it has been a pleasure talking to you, sir. Tell the people where they can reach you at, though.
What's where you can reach me at?
Look at it. Look at your site, your IG, and everything.
Well, Cigar Samplers.
Okay.
Cigarsamplers.com, Cigar Samplers on Instagram, Cigar Samplers on Facebook, Cigar Samplers just about anywhere you can find it. That I am Cigar Samplers. So, whether, like I said, it's on, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, I'm out there. I'm not as active on Instagram and Twitter as I'd like to be, but, I'm working on that. But, on top of, all the other things that I got going on, it's everything's important. That's the problem. Everything's got to get done today. Yeah. And it doesn't work that way. I create I'm creating new items every day. I'm getting stuff in, every week I'm getting new items in. And sometimes it might only be 10, 20 boxes. Sometimes it might be, 10,000 cigars. I'm working on my own private label stuff. I've got, I got a guy down in the Dominican that's making me, I got some samples of some, big 770 cigars. I got things I'm working on, and, I'll be doing some private label stuff. It's a constant thing. When you want to have your own business, you got to, there's nobody to push you but you. So that's the beauty of what I do.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for being on the show, sir.
Thank you very much. Have yourself a great day. And like I said, if it doesn't work out, let me know. And if it does work out, send me a link.
Okay, definitely. We always advertise the show on starting a Friday before it come on that Monday. I always let the person know that Monday that their show will be on the next Monday. So we do it very like good. That. So you always get the link. So.
All right. I appreciate you.
All right, sir. You have a good day.
Tell Mark I said, hey, will you?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think he about to go to First Lady Cigars. I think that's in like Clinton. So he's going to another cigar lounge after this. So, he always trying to work. He always working.
He gotta promote like me.
Yeah.
All right, my man. I appreciate you.
All right, I appreciate you too, man.
All right. You guys have a good one. Take care. Bye.
You too.